Assalamu alaikum dear students. Let us continue with the topic optics of your 11th physics. In the last lecture we had seen the concept of reflection and refraction of light. Today we are going to concentrate on refraction. What is mean by refraction? For that I will again repeat. Whenever let us consider one denser medium. I hope you all are aware with the optically rarer and optically denser medium. Optically rarer medium, here optic means the medium should be transparent. So optically rarer and denser means rarer means light and denser means heavy. So here we have taken two medium 1 which is air, and the second medium you can consider it as a glass slab or a water surface you can consider. So obviously out of these two medium, both the mediums are transparent, they both are optical medium, but here your medium 1 which is air, which is less dense as compared to water or glass. So medium 1 is rarer while the medium 2 is denser. So whenever light rays enters from the rarer medium to the surface of a denser medium, you will see that it is not going to follow the same straight line path. It will be deviated from its original path. That deviation is called as refraction of light. I had given you the example of a straight pencil. When a straight pencil is kept inclined, it will appear straight only, but when you kept it inside the glass containing water, you will find that the straight pencil will no longer be straight, it will appear broken to you. So that broken part of a pencil is just because of the process of refraction of light. You may consider various example. Whenever we see the bottom surface of a pond from outside, that surface, that bottom of the pond will appear slightly raised from its actual depth. This is also due to the process of refraction. So in the last lecture we had seen the laws of refraction, that the incident ray, refracted ray and the normal all lies in the same plane, and angle of incidence and angle of refraction are both of them are on the opposite side of the normal. We have seen this concept. And the second law of refraction that we had seen is the Snell's law, which is very important over here. Snell's law says that ratio of the sine of the angle of incidence to that of the sine of the angle of refraction is constant. Sine I upon sine R. This ratio will always come constant. When you repeat this, the process of refraction for various values of angle of incidence, you will get various values of angle of refraction, but whenever you count this value sine I upon sine R, you are going to get the same number, and that number is called as refractive index. This constant number is called as refractive index. So refractive index, in short, it is written as Ri. It is having the formula sine I upon sine R. So there are various things that you might have observed while studying the process of refraction. See here, we had taken a ray of light in the air. The light ray is passing from rarer medium to denser medium. You'll come to know that angle of incident will always be greater than angle of refraction, and this ratio sine I upon sine R will always be greater than 1 whenever light ray passes from rarer medium to denser medium. And its opposite is also true, as the light ray can retrace its path whenever you take the incident ray inside a denser medium. it will follow this path and it will be refracted in air. So at that time, angle of refraction will become angle of incidence, and angle of incidence will become angle of refraction. So at that time, you can say that the ratio whenever light ray passes from denser medium to rarer medium, angle of refraction will be greater than the angle of incidence, and this ratio sin I upon sin R is found to be less than 1. So both the process you can study in any way. You can take the light ray passes from rarer medium to denser medium, as well as it can pass from denser to rarer. So this ratio is very important because we'll have to concentrate on this part. This ratio will decide that how much dense the medium is. So refractive index, this is by the Snell's law we have written sin I upon sin R. There is one more formula for the refractive index N. It is nothing but the ratio of speed of light in vacuum divided by speed of light in a denser medium, where C is the speed of light in vacuum and V is the speed of light in denser medium. We all know that as the light ray has changes its direction while passing from one medium to another medium, that is because of the change in velocity or change in speed of a light ray. So light ray is having its highest ever speed in air or in vacuum, that we all know it is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Whenever it moves inside a denser medium, the speed of light found to be decreased. It decreases whenever light ray move from rarer medium to denser medium, because the denser medium will not allow that much speed of light to flow. So that is why the refractive index is having one more formula. It is the ratio of speed of light in vacuum or in air to that of the speed of light in a denser medium, C upon V. So we have taken medium 1 and medium 2. As I told you that this ratio will define the density of the denser medium, how much dense the medium is. So it is actually written as speed of light in medium 1. Let us consider in medium 1 speed of light is V1. And in medium 2 speed of light is V2. So this formula will be written as V1 upon V2, where V1 is the velocity of light in medium 1 here in this case, and V2 is the velocity of light in medium 2. Medium 1 is rarer while medium 2 is denser. So the formula for the refractive index will be written in this form, and this refractive index will be written as which medium is a denser medium? Medium 2. So 2 will be written here. Refractive index of medium 2 with respect to which medium you are measuring with respect to medium 1. So 1 will be written here. So the formula for the refractive index will be written as refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 is equal to V1 upon V2. Now let us consider another example. Let us consider another example over here. Our first medium, we all know that it is air. First medium is air, while the second medium is, say, water. Suppose the second medium is water over here. Then how will you write down this formula? Refractive index will be written as refractive index. What is the denser medium over here? It is water. So refractive index of water with respect to air is equal to ratio of velocity of light in air to that of velocity of light in water. This would be the formula that we are going to use. Similarly, if the first medium is air and the second medium is glass, then how will you write down the formula for the refractive index? N. At that time it will become refractive index of glass with respect to air is equal to VA upon Vg, velocity of light in air to that of the ratio of the velocity of light in air to that of the velocity of light in glass. Just see here, we all know that light is having a constant velocity in air. So there is no need to mention if air or vacuum, if your first medium is air or vacuum, then there is no need to mention it. If you are comparing your refractive index with respect to air and vacuum, then there is no need to mention it. You can directly write it as NW for water and NG for glass. It is understood that your first medium is air over here. So when you are comparing the denseness of any medium with respect to air, then the refractive index will not it will not be written by keeping air as a superscript. So refractive index of water will be directly written as NW. It is understood that the first medium over here is air, and refractive index of glass, it will be written as NG. It is understood that the first medium over here is air. So if your first medium is air, at that time refractive index of a material medium will be called as absolute refractive index. This type of refractive index will be called as absolute refractive index. Similarly, let's take the example. Suppose here your first medium is not air, it is water. And the second medium is not water, it is glass. First medium is water and the second medium is glass. And you are doing optical measurement, incident angle and refraction angle in water as well as in glass. Your first medium is not air. Obviously, when comparing the density of these two medium, water and glass, which one is denser? Glass is denser than water. So at that time, when you take into account water and glass, water will be considered as a rarer medium, while the glass will be considered as a denser medium. So at that time, how will you write down the formula for the refractive index? Refractive index formula will become denser medium 2 is glass and medium 1 is water. So it will be written as refractive index of glass with respect to water. Here you must mention the superscript water, that water is to be considered as a rarer medium in comparison with the glass. So formula for it will become velocity of light in water to that of velocity of light in glass. So if your first medium is other than air and vacuum, then the refractive index will become a relative refractive index. Such type of refractive index will be called as relative refractive index. So if the first medium is air or vacuum, then the refractive index will be called as absolute refractive index. If the first medium, if the two medium are other than air and vacuum, then the refractive index will be written as, will be called as relative refractive index. These are the two concepts that we had to study in the process of refraction. Now, with the same example, let us find out the formula for the another formula for the refractive index over here. But this time what we will do, we will take incident ray. Consider this same diagram over here. It is a glass slab, or you can consider it as a water. But the light ray is not going to enter from rarer medium. Suppose the source of light is placed at point O inside the denser medium. And let us consider two rays emitting from the point O, ray OA. See this line, ray OA. It is the very first incident ray. as this ray is normally incident on the surface and there is one observer which is observing this ray of light. There is one observer which is observing this ray of light emitting out of from the denser medium. Remember that in this case the light ray is passing from denser medium to rarer medium. Let us have one more formula for the refractive index. So first ray is considered as OA. See the point of incidence, it is incidence at point A. When a ray of light OA incident on the surface of a denser medium, see the kind of incidence over here. You can say that it is normally incident on the surface. So whenever any ray is normally incident on the surface of a denser medium, obviously this light ray is going to pass from denser medium to rarer medium, but it will be undeviated. The refracted ray will be along the normal. Or you can say if a straight pencil is kept straight inside a glass containing water, there will be no deviation of light. Deviation or refraction of light will appear whenever you place a straight pencil inclined to the surface. So here we have taken one normal incidence. The ray of light is normally incident on the surface of a denser medium. It will go undeviated. It will pass from rarer medium to denser medium. There will be no deviation. Similarly, let us consider another ray, ray OB. Point of incidence, second point of incidence is B now. So another ray OB, it is moving from denser medium to rarer medium. As I told you, at this time this R will become I and I will become R. Angle of incidence will become angle of refraction and angle of refraction will become angle of incidence whenever light ray passes from denser medium to rarer medium. So this time our angle of incidence is this one. And the light ray is passing from denser medium to rarer medium. Angle of refraction will be greater than angle of incidence. You will see that this light ray will move away from the normal. Whenever light ray passes from rarer medium to denser medium, it is found to be deviated towards the normal. But whenever light ray moves from denser medium to rarer medium, it is found to be deviated away from the normal. So at this time angle of refraction will be greater than angle of incidence. So it will come out as a ray BC. BC is a refracted ray in rarer medium. So we have drawn the original direction of the ray also. Or you can say, you can consider it as, see the bottom part of this. Suppose this is a glass containing water or it is a jar containing water. This is the bottom surface of the container, and thickness of this glass slab you can consider, or height of the water level is R. This distance is R. But we all know that whenever we observe the bottom surface from air, you will see that this surface is found to be slightly raised. Where it is going to observe, it is exactly going to observe when you draw the original direction of the refracted ray without any deviation. So this is the point where you are going to observe the bottom surface of the container. So that is why the bottom surface is slightly appears to be raised whenever it is seen from outside, whenever it is seen from rarer medium. So at this place you are going to see the bottom face. So actual depth of this water, actual depth is R. Actual depth of the water is R. And let small a here, distance of the apparent bottom surface from the surface of water, this is the apparent depth. It is slightly raised from its original height. So apparent depth means you are that the height or the depth that which is appears to you. Actual is R, but the height which appears to you is A over here. So let this point where the bottom surface of the container appears, let this point is I. Now let's do some calculation over here. The distance between the two normal is x. The distance between two normals taken over here is x. So see here, this complete angle is R. What do you say about this angle? Angle IB, this angle. This complete angle is also R. Both are opposite angle. The angle which is marked by this pen is again R. If this angle is R, as these two normals are parallel, if this angle is R, then you can say that this angle is also R. This is also the angle of refraction. Angle AIB is also R. And these two lines are parallel to each other. You can say that this length AB is also X. This length AB is also X. So let us write down the formula for tan R, tangent of angle of refraction. See the triangle AIB. Can you write down the formula for tan R? We can write it as opposite upon adjacent. Opposite side is X and adjacent side is A. So tan R can be written as, this tan R can be written as opposite upon adjacent X upon A. Give this one as equation number 1. Or similarly, as the value of sine to any angle and tangent to any angle are approximately equal, so you can write it as sine R is equal to X upon A. Give this as equation number 1. Sine R is X upon A. Similarly, let us find out tan I. Tan I. See this angle O, this angle tan I. Angle of incidence over here is this one. So find out tan I. It is again opposite upon adjacent. So opposite side is X again, and adjacent side over here, as you all know, that it is the actual depth of the pond, it is R. So X upon R. Similarly, you can again write it as value of sine and tangent both are approximately equal. So you can write it as sine I is equal to X upon R. Give this one as equation number 2. Then by using the formula of refractive index, what is the formula? It is refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. It is equal to, what is the angle of incidence over here? Sine R upon sine I. Now substituting the value of sine R from equation 2 and sine I from equation 1. Sine R is X upon A, while sine I is, from equation 2, it is X upon R. Refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. So X is going to cancel. This R will come in the numerator and A will come in the denominator. So this value will become R upon A. So there is one more formula of refractive index that we have got over here is What is R? R is the real depth of the water. And what is A? A is the apparent depth of the water. So you can write this formula as refractive index is also equal to real depth upon apparent depth. So we have too many formulas for the refractive index. Let us solve one numerical on it. This is the example number 9.4 in your textbook. See the statement of this numerical. A crane flying 6 meter above a still clear water lake. You can again consider this as a surface of a lake. It sees a fish underwater. Crane sees a fish underwater. So the position of the fish appears to be over here. This is the position of a fish. It sees a fish underwater. For the crane, the fish appears to be 6 centimeter below the water surface. This height of the fish from the water surface is 6 centimeter as it is seen by the crane. How much deep should the crane immerse its beak to pick the fish? Means here what you will have to do, the fish appears at a distance of 6 centimeter from the surface of water, but this is the apparent depth. Actual depth is not known to you, so you need to determine the actual depth of the fish. Second thing, it is further stated in the question, for the fish, how much above the water surface does the crane appear? So it means what? You'll have to find, obviously for fish is as the fish is looking at the crane inside the water, so the actual height of a crane is given to you, but the height which is seen by the fish will not be actual, it will be the apparent. So you need to determine the apparent height of a crane which is seen by the fish. And here you have been given refractive index of water is 4/3. So let us solve this question. Just now we have seen one formula that the refractive index is given by refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 is given by the formula real depth upon apparent depth. So for crane it is water with respect to air, as crane is in a rarer medium, so denser medium for the crane is water. So for crane, the light ray is moving from rarer to denser medium, so it is water with respect to air. So here we have written the formula for the refractive index R upon A. Refractive index is mentioned in the question, it is 4/3. N is 4/3. Real depth of a fish is not known to us, so we'll have to find out the real depth of the fish. Apparent depth is given, the fish appears at a 6 centimeter. So A is 6 centimeter. We have substituted over here. By solving this equation, cross multiplying these two quantities, we are going to get R as is equal to 8 centimeter. So actual depth of the fish is actually 8 centimeter. Now the second case, what you will have to determine, you will have to find out the apparent height of a crane which is seen by the fish. So for fish, it is air with respect to water because the light is passing from denser to rarer medium. Again, we are going to use the same formula, refractive index is R upon A, But since the light is passing from denser to rarer, so this ratio, it is air with respect to water, so this ratio will be reverse. So 4 by 3 will become 3 upon 4 is equal to R is given, actual height of a crane is 6 while the apparent is not known to us. So A will be written as it is. So this equation will become 3 by 4 is equal to 6 upon A. Hence, from this equation we are going to get A as 8 meter. So, the height of a crane appears to be 8 meter as it is seen by the fish. This is the apparent height of a crane. And so far we have determined the real depth of the fish, real height at which the fish is situated. So hope you all have understood the topic. Thank you.